So that is the huge thing when it comes to lane filtering. So you remember what I said when it comes to lane filtering, that I treat it like going through a haunted house? Anybody remember that? I treat it just like I'm going through a haunted house. I am creeping around. What's around the corner? You know, what's around the corner? I'm constantly treating it like there's a scary clown with a chainsaw just waiting around that corner. So when that's the case and you're a little paranoid, a little scared when you're in a haunted house or like in a corn maze or whatever, and you have, you know, things that can jump out at you, are you running? Like, are you hauling ass through a haunted house? You might be hauling ass to get out, but are you trying to finish the maze in the haunted house by like running as fast as you can? You know, are you doing that? No, you're more concerned. You're a little paranoid. You're creeping around, and then when you get back to the parking lot or into an open area, you're walking normal. Okay, that's how I want you to treat lane filtering. That's how I want you to treat anything when you're riding. When it comes to low visibility, low line of sight, you can't see, so slow it down. When you can see, go ahead and go up to the speed limit. So that's what I want you to do in this situation. So in this situation, it's orange stage. Orange stage is that moment where you're like, oh, I should probably slow it down a little bit. Oh, I should probably prepare myself a little bit. Oh, I should cover those brakes. Orange stage is like going through a haunted house. Yellow stage is when you get into an open area and you feel more comfortable. Red stage is when you have to do something, emergency braking or punching the clown in the nose because he scared you a little too much. That is what you should be doing in red stage. Brown stage is when you just panic and you stop there and the dude's chasing you and you shit yourself. That's pretty much what brown stage is. In this situation, you can't see anything around this bus. You cannot see anything. Now, are you expecting a clown to jump out? No, you're not expecting a clown to jump out. But what I'm more concerned about when it comes to stuff like this is a car switching lanes or the bus scooting a little bit more over, or, you know, this is an intersection, so pedestrians, yeah, but I didn't expect a pedestrian to come out right here. So these are all things where you still should be in orange stage and prepped and ready for anything. You want to reduce your total reaction time when it comes to anything like this. Now, our perception, we have to perceive the hazard in the first place, but let's reduce the amount of time it takes to apply those brakes. Let's reduce the amount of time it takes to start searching for hazards and threats. And that's what orange stage is. You are ready already before seeing anything. You just realize you're in a hazardous situation. So now you got to be on high alert. So let's go ahead and cover those brakes. Let's cover that clutch. Let's get ready with our right foot over that rear brake too. So let's apply both front and rear brake just in case. Let's find our escape paths. Let's maybe slow it down a little bit because I don't like my total stopping distance right now. So let's just go ahead and roll off the throttle a little bit, but still cover those brakes and cover that clutch so I don't stall. Now, if anything comes out at us, I'm not having to reach for things. I just squeeze. So I reduce that 1 second perception. I reduce that 1 second reaction to about half a second perception to maybe half a second reaction. Guess what? It takes you now 1 second to perceive and react versus 2 seconds to perceive and react. Now we still have to worry about total stopping distance. So if we were originally just doing the 1 second, and now we're still going the let's say 25 miles an hour through here. Let's say 15. It's 15 miles an hour through here. Now I got to stop within 15 miles an hour, whatever that can allow me to stop in. But since I'm in orange stage, I went down to 12 miles an hour, maybe 10. So now I have half a second, only 10 miles an hour total stopping distance versus 1 second, 15 miles an hour total stopping distance. That little bit probably will save your life. Who here, write in the chat if you've been in this situation. I get a lot of comments saying that that specific tip has saved their life in a certain situation. I would love to hear your guys' comments and thoughts in the comments after this, and then also in the chat. But that is how I do things. And then once I get out of this, I get out of that red or orange stage, I go back into yellow. So now I go the speed limit. Now I put my hands back on the handlebars. I'm not covering anything, and I go about my day. That is what I want you guys to do. Modulate. Go into orange stage, get out of orange stage. Go into orange stage, get out of orange stage. Go into orange stage, get out of orange stage. He was covering the brakes too. You notice that? So if that person was right in front of him, he would have hit him. So maybe reduce the speed a little bit on this situation. Just reduce the speed. He was covering the brakes. He was doing everything. He was situationally aware. He was very quick, right? So maybe just reduce the speed, and maybe he would have stopped. Let's see. Maybe he would have stopped. Come on. Maybe he would have stopped right here. Maybe if he was just going a little bit slower, he would have stopped right here. So if this guy stood right here, he would have stopped before that. But the thing is, just a little bit too much speed. But this is something that we can learn through an after-action review. This is not something that we can learn in that moment. And that's why we cannot judge the people in these videos. Because we're in a better position of being able to look at and learn from these things so that we maybe not do these ourselves. Okay? Except for Harley riders. You guys... You guys are so upset.
Tá que pariu, meu brother. Tá fechado ou lá tá fechado? Você quer morrer, irmão? Atravessa seu viado. Na moral, irmão, qual foi, viado? Porra, na moral, você pode morrer, viado.
Yeah, wear gear.